The Day the Grunge Died by Larry Locken, which is me. So on a post about Kurt Cobain, it got me to thinking about where I was when I found out he had passed away. I've told the story many times. It's a very surreal moment for me because it's kind of like my JFK moment in a way. My parents would always talk about where they were when they found out John F. Kennedy had been murdered, and my dad had just started high school and my mom was still in junior high. Well, it was a Friday afternoon. It was April 5th. I was about a month out of graduating from high school, about a month away. I was graduating that year, 94. My parents were both still at work, and there was no internet yet, of course, and I was a closing manager at McDonald's. It was a very just turned down day, nothing going on. The sun was shining, everything was bright, but just nothing going on at all, it seemed like, right? I was getting ready to go to work. They were still at work. I had gotten out of the shower. I was drying off, and my parents had this old Bose radio in the den. And as I was drying my hair, I can remember overhearing in the distance, the top of the hour news come on, and ABC News. Rock star Kurt Cobain was found dead in his Seattle apartment today. And they started going into why and what happened to him, and I just kind of sat there in just kind of a daze, drying my hair, just not having really any emotion, just taking it in. It was weird, very surreal. Anyway, so I got dressed, hurried up and got to work. Some of the girls already knew that were there, and they were upset. They were crying. A lot of the girls that, were still in high school and right out of high school. And then a couple of them didn't know, that were busy at the time. I told them if they'd heard it, and they hadn't. And, they were upset. So it was quite the day. It was just, like I said, there was nothing going on that day at all. It was just a turned down day. The other thing was the first thing that came to my mind once I kind of got my thoughts and was driving to work. I had this feeling came over me as to how he died, and it would be irresponsible. I've said it before, but it would be irresponsible for me to put out there, but because it involved naming somebody as being involved in it, and I don't want to do that. That wouldn't be fair. But it wasn't any kind of judgment. It just came right over me as to what it was, and that's probably nothing. But yeah, it was very surreal. He was a big part of my generation for sure. I mean, I was in high school. I was like in my first year of high school when he really first hit it big. They were kind of on the scene, but when they really broke out huge. And grunge, and I'm from the Northwest. Yeah, and in a way you could definitely say it was the day the grunge died.